Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. We are in the book of Job, and this has been a really exciting series just because at the beginning I was like in the middle of a suicidal depression while my whole life was falling apart, and every single time we read a chapter together, it was just so revealing to the depths of the suffering that I was feeling at the time. And then around a couple days ago, God just really started to reverse a lot of my perspectives, and I went from totally agreeing with Job to realizing that he was being really self-righteous and that ultimately there was a higher perspective above all that. And now we're kind of back to being able to understand what he's saying. So we're in chapter 19 and we're going to read verses 7 through 12, which reads, "Behold, I cry out, violence, but I am not answered. I call for help, but there is no justice. He has walled up my way so that I cannot pass, and he has set darkness upon my path. He has stripped from me my glory and taken the crown from my head. He breaks me down on every side, and I am gone, and my hope has been pulled up like a tree. He has kindled his wrath against me and counts me as an adversary. His troops come on together, that they have cast up their siege ramps against me and encamp around my tent." Now, I know that God is good and that God is kind, and that ultimately, as a follower of Christ, I'm not an enemy of God, but boy, do I feel that. I mean, this season has been him dismantling all the hard work I've put in, all of the hours in the gym, all of the eating until I felt like I was going to hurl, all of the constant effort that I've put in. My finances, my physicality, my health, my relationships were just immediately wiped clean, and he took everything away. And I was so angry, and I was so hurt, and I was so frustrated and disappointed. I was expecting healing and restoration in a hopeless situation, and instead things just got worse every single day. And it was like, what the heck, man? I used maybe a little more colorful language than that. But ultimately, the conclusion that I came to is that I'm dust. And at the beginning of Job, he literally says, "Shall we accept only good things from the Lord? I came naked in from my mother's womb, and I shall be naked when I leave. The Lord gives, and the Lord takes away." And that is really what it comes down to. When we stop posturing and we stop pretending like God owes us something, we can finally be free to have gratitude in the midst of terrible situations, because God is provider. He is working out something better for us, and he can be trusted. So do not reject the Lord's discipline as I did and run the other way, but instead embrace everything he's bringing into your life. Trust him, cast your cares on him, and watch him work for you. Go with God.